The scripture today comes from Matthew chapter 16, verses 13 through 20. Now, when Jesus came into the district of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, "Who do people say that the Son of Man is?" And they said, "Some say John the Baptist, but others Elijah, and still others Jeremiah, or one of the prophets." He said to them, "But who do you say that I am?" Simon Peter answered, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." And Jesus answered him, "Blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah, for flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father in heaven. And I tell you, you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not prevail against it. I will give you the keys to the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven." Then he sternly ordered the disciples not to tell anyone that he was the Messiah.
Hi. So I'm Emma Holzhausen. I'm supposed to introduce myself. I like to think that God is always around, in the little things, like the light shining through the windows right now. God is right there. So Irvington Churches Missions is a group from all the churches in Irvington, and we go to different states and do manual labor helping people. We tend to do a lot in houses and help to rebuild them for people less fortunate who can't pay for that. This past summer, we went to Waukegan, Illinois, and we worked with an organization called the Fuller Center. This is a national organization, but one of their branches was in Illinois. Their current project is flipping houses, and so they take a house in a very not so great neighborhood, and they basically gut it and then make it very, very nice and sell it or rent it by income to a family. I can tell you all about the wonderful relationships and experiences that you can have on one of these trips, but that's not what I'm going to talk about today. A nightly tradition that we have on this trip after dinner is we have a small meeting and we talk about what's going to happen the next day and a couple announcements. But we end each night asking, "Where did you see God?" And so we go around the room and we say things like seeing a flower in a pile of rubble, being able to make someone smile or take a shower after a long day. I mean, we have even seen God in the dirt that gets on our hands. One large task that we were given this summer was to take down a chimney. Our very own Caleb Holzhausen made the last hit after doing it, and he said that he saw God in that large hole that went through 3 floors that they had taken down in one day. One adult even brought home some of the bricks because she saw God so much so that she wanted to see that every day and see the difference that we can actually make in people's faces and in their hearts. So I challenge you to go home at the end of each day this week and ask yourself, where did I see God? Because when you can find where you've seen God, it will brighten your day, even if it's been a bad day, and you can go to sleep with a higher, lighter attitude, and it can make it better the next day. So be thinking, where did you see God?
Hi, I'm Mitchell Stuckey, and I'm in 6th grade. When I was at the lock-in for the youth group, we did lots of activities. We also went volunteering. First, we went to Gleaner Food Pantry. Then we watched a video, and they sent us down to sort hygiene products. You have to have conditioner and soap at a food pantry for some reason. it was a good experience for me. After that, we went to Jack Mo's, watched a movie, and went to sleep. The next day, I went out to Westminster Soup Kitchen and helped out over there. When I was taking a break, I met a guy who volunteered 2 or 3 times a week at the kitchen. We were talking and talked a lot about God. It was good, but one thing that he said stuck with me the most. He said, if Jesus were anywhere, it would be places like this, at food pantries and other places that helped the needy. I think I saw Jesus through him that day. It inspired me, and that day it showed me that we see God through each other. We are his hands and feet. We show what Jesus would really do.
I'm Catherine Stoffer, and I'm also in the 6th grade. One of the things I do during the school year is I tutor at School 57. And for me, that's always kind of a fun experience because you're meeting kids who you've never met before, and you get to help them. But sometimes they're doing things that I don't know how to do. And that makes me realize that I can't help everyone, but God can. So when I go home at night, I just pray to God that they're doing well and that they're succeeding on what they do. Because we may not be able to help them, but God can. Volunteering is something that I always think helps me out because when I go home, I have something to pray about, something to think about, something to open my eyes to the reality of the world. And I think that it's made me a better person because of being able to realize that I'm not perfect, that only God is.
Morning, I'm Caleb Holzhausen. I'm a senior at Heron High School this year. With all these positive reflections, I feel kind of weird with having a bit of a negative one. So, every day I judge people. I can't stop. It's almost impossible to. I see people and I immediately assert opinions and notions about them before I've even talked to them. When I go to school, I judge my teachers, my students. When I go camping, I judge the other people I see. I judge other campers, even though they're doing this exact same thing as I am. Especially when I'm out in public, I judge people. And I'm sure people are judging me. But this is a habit that so many of us develop at a young age, it's hard to get rid of. And I don't know that I'll ever be rid of this habit. But I know I can change the way I judge people. And so can all of us. We can do it in a more positive manner. Rather than thinking, oh, she's at Walmart in pajamas because she's lazy. You can think, oh, she's at Walmart in pajamas because her daughter wanted some food. I found a quote by Mother Teresa that I really liked. If you judge people, you have no time to love them. And I really like this quote because judging is something that happens to all of us every day. And it takes away our ability to love as people. So as Emma mentioned, my sister, she and I went on a mission trip this year. And if you know anything about me, I'm not a social person. I would much prefer to sit in my room alone than to go out and talk. But as this being my last year as a high school student, my dad convinced me to go on this mission trip. And at first, I did not think I was going to enjoy it. Yeah, I like doing service, but it's hard for me to talk to other people. That's just something I struggle with. But by the end of the week, I was talking with everybody. Everybody there was my friend. It was like a small family. So, in the scripture today, it says, "Then he ordered his disciples not to tell anyone that he was the Messiah." Now, in this, it says that Jesus ordered. And that really catches my attention because ordered implies that he really is demanding his disciples to do this. I don't see Jesus as the kind of person who would normally demand something from someone. He usually asks. So that means that he really, really wants this. So he wants people to learn not to judge people by his appearance, not to judge him by his own appearance, and to let them come to the realization on their own that he is the Messiah. So each of us have to come to the realization that each of us is a special person, and each of us is not what we appear to be. Thank you.